Hello there everyone, I am Craven Knight. Those of you who do know me, who follow me on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or friends with me on Facebook, you know that I've been delving back into my hobbies, which is just making stuff. A lot of people who know me very well know that I love making things, and lately, over the last couple of months, I've been going into the world of foam fabricating, making stuff out of EVA foam. And I've made quite a few things, and this first video that I'm doing is devoted to a special item that I just recently finished. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been a huge fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I even got a tattoo of the lightning bolt from the original American version from 1993. Something I always wanted was my own realistic looking Red Ranger power sword from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, something I never really got. Now, I remember getting a small little, I believe it was a Chinese or Japanese version, probably a Chinese version of the toy that wasn't really representative of the show as much as you would hope as a little kid. It didn't make the big power blaster, but it wasn't all that great. But what I really wanted was something that's a lot more scale to life size, that you would actually see the Red Ranger hold. I discovered that they're going to be coming out with a legacy version of the Power Sword to release, just like they did with the Green Ranger's Power Dagger and the Saba Sword from Season 2 of the Power Rangers, and other items like the Morpher and the Communicator, both which I have, and even the Power Blaster, which I also have as well. And I figured my arsenal is missing something, but I don't really want to purchase the item. I don't really have the funds to just go out and purchase a legacy sword that's going to most likely be at least $100, maybe more. So I just took it upon myself to just make my own version. Now, after kind of dabbling in the world of just making stuff out of EVA foam, I've made a few items which I will showcase eventually. I figured, how hard could it be to just make a sword out of foam? Now, the hardest part would be making the details, adding the details to the sword, but those hard parts are actually a lot of fun for me. So let me show you the piece. Here it is, Red Ranger Power Sword. Has a wooden dowel on the inside. It's very sturdy, and I can just, anyone who has a Nerf sword, I can just fight them with this and not feel so bad. Like I'm fine with that, because it's just a great piece to me. And as you can see, sure, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me, considering that it's just going to go up on my wall. A lot of stuff that I've been making is just stuff that I want to have, that I've always wanted, that I find a lot more fun and a lot more pleasure in just making myself and thinking, man, I did this myself. That's stuff that I love. So if you see here, everything is just completely handmade out of foam with the wooden dowel on the inside, and everything is just multiple pieces. Where I started was with the handle here, where it's just two pieces of foam carved on the inside to go over the dowel to kind of form fit to the dowel. And then you have little diamond shapes here that are painted gold. That's all just one piece of a thin foam that I cut out to just add and just crazy glue on top. And this piece here is a separate piece. I tried to do this after I did the handle, but it was kind of, I had to pretty much do this thing like 3 times, and it wasn't coming out how I wanted. Right now, it's not exactly how I want, but I think it's good enough for just standing on my wall, or just setting up on my wall. And then this piece here, which is a few pieces together. You got the detail here with the gold lining and the design with the power coin. Now, the power coin, that was something, because what I decided to do was to make a casting of the Red Ranger power coin that I have. I used epoxy sculpt to make a ceramic type casting of the power coin that I have. I use a heat gun to soften the foam, that way I can push it into the casting to make the power coin shape. Now, it's not perfect, and I'm thinking of going a different route, so I don't consider this part very finished, but but so far I like it the way it is, and when I feel like it, I'll probably print out a better image of the power coin and glue that on there. But this was one piece, and I carved it out and then popped it out with some techniques I learned from Evil Ted and the Evil Ted YouTube channel, Punish Props and such. And same thing with these points here with the blue, that are just one piece with the little circle cut out. And then came the blade itself. I know that the blade is supposed to be fairly thinner than this, but I did want these points here to stick out a little bit more proud, considering that I made these golden pieces a lot more thicker, or they end up popping out a lot more than they should. And so the blade piece that I did ended up kind of being a lot more narrow or smaller, and I wasn't extremely happy with it, so I just added a piece of foam here to make it stick out that way. I had to completely redo the blade and rip that part out to redo it and put another part, because when I tried to do the detail, it was uneven. It was not really coming out well because the blade was too narrow. So I wanted to make it thicker just so the detail can kind of go on there and pop. Now I know the detail is supposed to be thinner than this. It's not supposed to be as dark and as thick, but it just came out how it did. This was a very difficult part for me to do. And I hope with the more practice that I do with making props out of foam and doing some detail work, that I'll eventually pick up some techniques and get better at that. But so far, I'm very happy with this. I think it's a great piece to just sit up on my wall along with everything else. I'm going to mount my morpher, my communicator, and my blaster onto the wall and just have a little Power Rangers shrine on my wall in the bedroom. So there it is, and I hope you like it. I at least hope that you see this and kind of listen to some of the techniques that I did and come up either with your own or use mine to just make your own Red Ranger Power Sword. And I forgot to mention, I even used the Barge cement, contact cement that you see over my shoulder, some of the stuff on my shelf here. That the Barge contact cement is what keeps these things glued together. That and some really strong crazy glue, which I use, this Blue Cap crazy glue that I get in the stationery department at Walmart. But that, where like if you use the heat gun, it's gonna stay pretty well. It's not gonna just get all taken apart. So, but I'll do some more videos to show some of my techniques and show how I put all my props together. This is something I'm hoping to make a career someday, but for now I'm just taking baby steps and just making the things that I want to make, and hope to take commissions to do stuff for other people, because this is something that I really enjoy, that I have a lot of fun with and spending my time doing. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I hope to do a lot more, add a lot more to the channel, and maybe even make a Facebook fan page, which most likely I will do. But if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Craven Knight, spelled with a C, Knight, spelled K-N-Y-T-E. Nice fancy way of me doing it, but yeah, and just follow the stuff that I'm doing on social media. I'm always posting progression photos of the stuff that I'm making, so you can see from beginning to end how I am making everything, if I end up not doing an actual video on it. So yeah, thanks again, peace, love, and chicken grease, stay creative, and I'll see you next time.